Trustee Daniels.
I am present.
Trustee Williams.
Present.
Trustee Rickett.
Here.
Trustee Boone.
Here.
Mayor Hobbs.
Here.
Notice of public hearing, please take notice that a public hearing will be held in Village Hall 99 James and Garner Way, Hempstead, New York, on Tuesday, May 11, 2021, at 6 p.m. to consider denial of renewal of the business license to Metro Deli, located at 139 Jackson Street, Hempstead, New York, 11550. The proposed agreement is on file in the office of the village clerk, Village Hall, 99 James Garner Way, Hempstead, New York, where the same will be inspected during office hours. All persons interested shall have an opportunity to be heard for said proposal at a time and place aforesaid by order of the Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead, William Hobbs, Mayor, Patricia Perez, Village Clerk. All right.
Good afternoon again. As it relates to Metro Deli, 139 Jackson Street, this business has been in the village for approximately 21 years. They were cited with certain violations, violation of the New York State Liquor Authority code. The police department went in, they observed certain things, drinking alcohol on premises. It's come to my attention that they do have a valid license for that. They were also cited for gambling at gambling machines and selling certain prescription drugs.
Okay, so I'm sorry. They have a license for consuming on premises?
Correct, yes, and it's valid. So they are represented by counsel here, Mr. Christensen, and he and I had an opportunity, if you want to make your appearance, counsel.
Stephen Christensen, 170 Old Country Road, Suite 610, Mineola, New York, 11501. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So we had an opportunity to talk, and I believe based on the fact that this business has been in the village for 21 years, and to be honest, the extent of any issues, it's very minor. It's subject to that one visit that happened on December 23rd of 2020. I believe that they should get an opportunity to cure these issues that are clearly curable. And as such, I'm requesting that this hearing be adjourned over 30 days so we can hammer out certain terms with the business and its attorneys, and something that we would present to the board at another date to see if the board will consider it.
Mr. Mayor, by way of background, my client, as was indicated, has run this business, has owned this business for 21 years or so. Most recently, his oversight, direct managerial of the business has subsided to a great degree. He is trying to enjoy his time more. During this occasion, I believe he was back in the Dominican Republic visiting with family, and those visits have become more and more frequent. This incident has given rise to him recognizing he needs to reassume direct control over this business again, and he's committed to clean it up, and we're contemplating, subject to everyone's approval, entering into a stipulation with a probationary period, consent to inspections, etc., for purposes of demonstrating his compliance moving forward in an effort to get his business license renewed.
Trustee, do you have any questions?
I would like to hear what the officer has to say, if you don't mind.
Sure, Officer Cohen, come on up.
Officer Stephen Cohen, Shield number 1249, Hempstead Police Department in the CPOP CSU unit. As far as this business goes itself, we haven't had a ton of issues there as far as responding goes inside the business. If you look at the blotter history, you'll see the number comes up a lot, only because they're on a busy street. I believe it's because their business, the numerical of the address is used for locating different calls as far as the outside of the business itself. This was the one call we had that was an issue. Again, there was the gambling machines were inside, prescription medications being sold from behind the counter, which is not just, I'm just gonna say, it's not just them that do this, several businesses have been found doing this. We've written every business fairly and the same, just to put that out there. Besides that though, as far as the village attorney stated, there hasn't been a overabundance of calls at this location to warrant any type of major issues for the police department itself, is what I'd like to say. Any other questions, Trustee Bloom?
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, I mean, can I ask, like, so I think being away and enjoying your success is one thing. I think, after you run the business for 21 years, there's a certain level of diligence that's expected, right? And what we're talking about here isn't necessarily minor infractions. I think we actually take those infractions pretty seriously. I mean, there's a licensing that goes into selling prescription medication, right? That's not that's not found often, even though that it's well around. It's pretty serious stuff, right? And the gambling is pretty serious stuff. Being away 1 or 2 weeks to go and enjoy your success is one thing, but being away and then and coming back and looking at your business and knowing that you're selling prescription drugs and that you have gambling machines that aren't easily moved around, I don't buy that. I don't buy that you're in Dominican Republic and you're coming back here once, you're actively involved but not super active involved, and you're not aware that prescription drugs are being sold over the counter, and you have gambling machines inside of the establishment. So, I mean, I don't get it. I'm not buying it. I mean, so what stipulations are you thinking you're putting in place during this probationary period to get us comfortable? Because, again, if you gave it to somebody and someone's operating the business, then you should sell the business. But to sit here and say you're in the DR and you left it in the hands of someone and that person is put, gambling machines and selling prescription medications over the counter, to me, that's not something that we're going to turn around and walk away from.
Right, Trustee Daniels, and for that reason, we are adjourning this hearing and not making any determinations. The terms of the agreement is something that would have to be hammered out between the village and council. So at this point, we have no terms. And then again, it's still up to, subject to the approval of the board, what you want to see in a stipulation, or if you agree with it and you want to proceed with this hearing following whatever negotiations we've had.
Can I ask a question? Who's running the business now?
Mr. Baptiste is back. He's back running the business.
Okay. And is he planning to go away again?
Well, not in the near future, based upon what our conversations. He's also contemplating the sale of the business. But naturally, if without a business license, that ability to sell would be significantly compromised.
Okay, thank you.
How long has these infractions been going on?
Based on the information that we obtained from the police department, I have 2 incidents. One on November 24th of 2020, and then a follow-up on December 23rd of 2020. And which is why the village attorney's office would even consider this, in light of the fact that this business has been around for approximately 21 years. If those are the incidents I have for a 21-year-old business, I think, is worth exploring some resolution outside of a denial of a business license.
Even though they were selling prescription drugs?
When we say prescription drugs, we're talking about Viagra, we're talking about Cialis, nothing major.
Well, it depends on.
So the allegation so the allegation is, according to the report, they had had Viagra, they had Cialis, they had amoxicillin, and something else,
Well,
some other antibiotic, behind the counter. And that's what they were selling.
well, the amoxicillin is on a different level.
Can I just ask, so what, if any changes were made post the November incident? Because we went back 30 days later for a follow-up, which is good diligence, right? And we found the same stuff.
I believe that the November visit was orchestrated by way of a confidential informant to go in and visit a joker poker machine and play on it to demonstrate its functionality, etc. It wasn't a notice to cure or anything like that to put the business
Same
on.
thing, though, right? So November, we find out that you've got slot machines in, or whatever the joker poker, or whatever it's called.
No, the business was not made aware. It was a CI operation at the police department. They didn't serve the business with any kind of notice in terms of cure this, stop it, get rid of it. That didn't happen.
So, would you concur?
Yes, based on the report from the police department, that's what that was. And they did state that a confidential informant went in, took money from, that was provided by the police department, went in, played with the machine, and whatever else. So yes.
I have a question. Do we have a certain time that you're actually allowed to sell liquor in the village of Hempstead? I'm just curious because I know I have, visited a lot of the local businesses, and that just happened to be one of the places that I have been in that they were selling liquor very early in the morning, which was breakfast time. So, is that a time frame, being they have a liquor license?
They do have a license. I don't know if there are any restrictions on that license, but that's something we definitely explore during the process of trying to figure out how to resolve this, if we can. If not, as I said before, we'll just go back to the hearing. But that's something we would explore and we would incorporate in any agreement we have, if we have an agreement.
So it's not the norm when you get a liquor license that you have a time frame, but if it's something that there's an issue or problem, then the village could present that when they renew their license or apply for a license, that you can only sell from this time to this time. But just the regular, normal license, there's no restriction of time.
And I don't know if they have any such on this one. I have no idea at this point.
So my just quick last thing, and I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. Is so. This is like my recommendation. That could be from my side. Is that whatever you guys are deciding to work out, that there's no alcohol consumption on premises. I mean, this is my understanding. This is a bodega / deli.
It's a deli with a valid license. So
To do so.
Right, they have a valid license to do so.
To consume on premises.
I get that, but this is not a restaurant.
They do serve food. There's eating, counter service.
Oh, okay. And that's during normal hours of operation, which are, can you tell me what the hours of operation are?
Till 10 at night. What time do you guys open?
6, something like that.
So 6 to 10?
6 to
7
10
days a week. so-
hours of operation.
Saturday.
So you're closing at 10 on the weekends too?
Yeah.
All right, so we heard the recommendation of the village attorney. Trustees have proposed their questions. I'm asking for a motion to follow the recommendation of the village attorney. We set another date, and when they get back to us based on the recommendation of our village attorney, we make our decisions from there.
When does the license expire?
2023. But which license? The business license or the SLA license?
The business license.
The business license has already expired.
The
It
application
expired,
was
right, so
submitted in October.
it's expired in September, they submitted their application to renew it, and then we denied that, and that's why we're here.
So your extension is to extend the business license to a finite date of the end? of the
Right,
operation?
so I would recommend that they be allowed to continue their businesses with allowing inspections, random inspections, and as long as there are no further violations, then we'll move forward with this. With coming to some terms that we can hammer down and put in actual writing between now and the 30 days for the next hearing date.
Also, so you're gonna extend the license for 30 days, basically?
Correct.
Oh, that's what sorry.
Okay, that's it. So can I get a motion for the recommendation of the village attorney?
Move.
Second.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Griffith?
No.
Trustee Moon?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. All right, thank you. So,
So,
now can I get a motion to close this public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Who's second?
Gotta fight for a second.
Trustee
Daniels?
Griffith.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Griffith?
Yes.
Trustee Moon?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good night.
We're counting on you to clean it up.